Lifechanyuan's view on rejuvenation and longevity. Siafang. July 21, 2013. Translation edited by Chinyu. Rejuvenation and longevity, a desire and pursuit that humanity has cherished for thousands of years, from emperors to common people. Qin Shi Huang dispatched Su Fu with 3,000 men and women to the Punlai Fairy Island in search of the elixir of immortality. It is said that Li Shimin, the Tang dynasty emperor, died after consuming elixirs like elixir of immortality and 5 stones powder. Pengzu, a legendary figure, lived for over 800 years and had 50 marriages. In the Bible, Adam lived for over 900 years. Lifechanyuan, a Chinese herbalist in the late Qing dynasty and early Republic of China, lived for 256 years. He had 24 wives and continued teaching at a university even when he was 200 years old. Both the New York Times and Time magazine reported on his longevity. Ordinary people hope for a long life, while practitioners aspire to have forever white hair and youthful appearances, with an air of immortality and profound wisdom. Everything has a natural lifespan, and scientific research indicates that human cells undergo approximately 50 divisions from conception, with each division taking around 2.4 years. As a result, the natural lifespan of a human is estimated to be 120 years. Scientists at the University of California, Berkeley, have identified a longevity gene that can reverse cell degeneration related to aging by extending the cell division cycle. If the cell division cycle could be extended to 5 years, people might live to be 250 years old, while a 10-year cycle could lead to a lifespan of 500 years, and a 20-year cycle could result in living to 1,000 years, and if the cell division cycle extends indefinitely, it could potentially lead to immortality. Scientists have discovered a key area in the brain, the hypothalamus, which controls the aging process. By altering the signals sent to the hypothalamus, it is possible to slow down the aging process, allowing people to remain youthful. They have also found that when the pituitary gland shrinks, the human body rapidly ages. Restoring an aging pituitary gland to a youthful state could stimulate the body's neurological, endocrine, and metabolic systems to function normally, thereby delaying the aging of the body's joints and organs and achieving the ideal of rejuvenation, longevity, and immortality. To this end, the International Longevity Association and the United Nations Institute for Ecological Security have devoted themselves to researching anti-aging substances. After 43 years of research involving 107 experts, they have successfully extracted the miraculous anti-aging substance, the HD element, which rapidly restores the pituitary gland to its youthful state. In ancient legends, there was a woman who, due to her husband's prolonged absence, could not bear the loneliness and engaged in an affair with an elderly servant in her household. However, the elderly servant, being old and frail, struggled to satisfy the woman. In response, she gave the elderly servant a family secret formula called the elixir of the aged servant. After consuming it, the elderly servant underwent a transformation and became young again, eventually fathering 2 children with the woman. However, when the truth came to light, she killed the elderly servant, only to discover that his bone marrow was plump, and his bones were strong. Long ago, there is a legend about a young woman who, carrying a wooden stick, was seen chasing an elderly man with snow-white hair along the road. Bystanders were outraged and tried to intervene, only to discover that the young woman claimed she was chasing her own son. It turned out that this young woman was actually over 100 years old. She had been consuming a type of pill made from a family secret recipe, which preserved her youthful appearance. Despite being well over a century old, she remained as agile as a swallow and retained her graceful figure. Her son, on the other hand, repeatedly refused to heed her advice and declined to take the pills she had prepared. As a result, by the time he was in his 70s, he had turned completely gray and aged significantly. This made the elderly woman quite angry, and she often chased after her son, pressuring him to take the pills. These pills were later known as Immortal Lesson pills. They were later renamed the Immortal Mother's Aging Discipline pills and, after being further refined by the renowned physician Hua Tua, they were given the names Longevity and Vigor pills and Longevity and Vigor Kidney Nourishing pills when they were adopted by the Imperial Court's medical establishment. British and Russian scientists believe that aging is a disease, and, like myocardial infarction and cancer, it is curable. They suggest that humans could live up to 1,000 years. Research has shown that telomeres, which control the number of times cells divide, are a key factor. Telomeres are repeated DNA sequences at the ends of chromosomes. With each cell division, telomeres lose approximately 30 to 200 base pairs. Typically, a human's telomeres have around 10,000 base pairs. When telomeres can no longer shorten, the cell can no longer divide. If telomeres could be prevented from shrinking, cells would continue to divide and replicate, just like cancer cells, and people could potentially live indefinitely. Lifechanyuan values hold that humans are created by the greatest creator, and human lifespans are predetermined. The pursuit of physical immortality goes against the will of the greatest creator because the most just aspect of life on earth is the inevitability of physical death. It's only in the face of death that all individuals are equal. If people were able to achieve immortality, many injustices in the world would persist indefinitely. Emperors, generals, talented individuals, beauties, high-ranking officials, distinguished people, and ordinary people will all eventually die, and only then could new and continuously evolving phenomena emerge. It is through this cycle that people find hope in life. Life is finite, and seeking the infinite in life is as futile as looking for fish on a tree. Our sole endeavor should not be the pursuit of physical immortality, but rather to live our limited lives well, vibrantly, wholly, flavorfully, and without regrets. Not pursuing physical immortality doesn't mean we should not pursue the eternality of life. Human life consists of both physical and spiritual aspects, with the body serving as the vessel for the spirit. The body is mortal, but the spirit is eternal. Therefore, Lifechanyuan celestials do not seek physical immortality, instead, we seek the eternality of the spirit. We don't invest time, energy, and resources in the physical body but instead cherish the precious time of our finite lives to nourish the spirit. Because our body cannot reach heaven, only our spirit can reach heaven. Pursuing the eternality of the spirit doesn't mean we don't value the physical body. The body, as the vessel of life, requires maintenance, much like a vehicle or a ship. Therefore, we prioritize the health of the body, we value well-being, and our ideal is for every individual to live 120 years free from illness, free from disasters, and free from pain. After living to 120 years, we utilize the Chanyuan meditation method to discard the vessel of life, the physical body, and joyfully move to the other shore, heading towards the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the Elysium Islands continent. In this world, I will strive to ensure that Chanyuan celestials achieve the goal, to enjoy love until the age of 100 and live to the age of 120. So, how can we achieve the goal of enjoying love until 100 and living to 120 and then leave the vessel and go to a higher level of life? Please read the next article, The Transcendence of Time and Space.